Okay, today I want to talk about this automatic water change system that I built. Okay, please bear in mind that everything is purely out of my own discarte, and that some of these components were not intended to be used this way. I'm using drip emitters originally intended for use in gardens for irrigation. This is zone 1, 6 tanks total. What this system does is that it adds fresh water every day around 7 o'clock in the morning. It adds around 6 to 8 liters or 3 gallons every day to mimic a natural biotope. In the natural biotope, Mother Nature is changing the water 24 hours a day. That's why the fishes grow healthy and they grow fast. If I only change the water once a week on the weekend, then I am going to stunt the growth of this fish. Considering also that these are grow out tanks that are overstocked. So if a water change system is not in place, it would really stunt the fish. In order to do this build, three elements. First is of course your water supply. In my case, I'm running off city water, so I have to have some sort of dechlorinator. So I have a basic two-stage filter here. No, don't mind the RO because the RO is not feeding the auto water change. That's a separate system that I use for my South American cichlids. But the filter, stage 1 is a 5 micron filter, stage 2 is a charcoal block. It takes away the chlorine. Now, I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. There are many ways to do it, and at the end of this video, we will talk about that in another discarte that might be more practical. I just happen to already have this, so that's why I'm going with it. The second is how to control the automatic water change system. Here, I am using a smart plug. The smart plug turns on at designated preset times that I control with my smartphone. And that powers a solenoid. This one. The solenoid opens and lets the water in there and is distributed by these irrigation water lines. All of this is available in Lazada. This is how I got this. And the irrigation system is very cheap also. It's less than 200 pesos. The solenoid was 168. Anyway, there. There were some hurdles at the beginning wherein if I just did a simple series connection with the water line, the farthest out would not anymore be able to spray water. So this is actually a loop. From here, it goes back up and there's a T there. So it's a loop. This is just to equalize the pressure. Also, the drip emitters actually also helps with that. Because if you do not use a drip emitter, the one nearest will only all the water will come out of that, and none of the other ones will be getting any. I'm using the infinite siphon. This thing has been around YouTube for a very long time. There, it just creates as an infinite siphon. I do not drill my tanks because most of my tanks are second hand, and you cannot. Oh, I'm not saying you cannot, but it is not advisable to drill an old tank because there are micro scratches on the surface and that will shatter the glass. Okay, this is for the infinite siphon. It's you can search YouTube. There's going to be a lot of videos about this, but a lot of them do not really discuss about the measurements and why it has to be like that. Okay, this is your intake. This is your discharge. Okay, when you start this, you have to dip the whole thing, this one, including this one, in water. And while they are completely submerged in water, you have to carefully insert this in here, like that, and carefully mount it on your aquarium. How high this is sets the aquarium level. So you need to manually set this cut accordingly as needed. The thing about this is when the water reaches here, okay, and you stop the incoming water, the water supply from filling the aquarium, okay, the water left inside here will slowly recede until it is exactly the level to here in the discharge. So it is important that there is a distance here. This one is about 3 inches, and the inner pipe, this one also goes down all the way here. There's only about a half an inch from the plug at the bottom. This is essential. Initially, when I built it, I thought it looked cool if the side was lower, and it would not hold a siphon, so it has to be this way. Instead of the ones there, most of them are using elbows here and then cutting it with a hacksaw. Just go ahead and use a T. It's much quicker. It works just the same. The inner pipe is 1/2 inch PVC, and the outer pipes are everything. It's 1 inch PVC. It inserts well and allows for a lot of flow. This is my zone 2. In my zone 2, I instead of using the irrigation drip emitters, I built this loop. The solenoid is down here. Still, it is controlled by a smart plug up here somewhere. I'll show you in a minute. But I built this loop, and then there are spray bars here, and on the other side. The back, it is controlled by another smart plug and a power supply. The water discharges through here, and and here. As mentioned, the water supply does not need to be this way. There's more than one way to do this. If you are running on well water and you already have a tank up in your roof somewhere, then you can just forego about everything, just run directly to a solenoid, and that would be your automatic water change system. As simple as that. If you're running on city water and you don't want to spend for uh, canister filters like this, you can use stock water, but you will need a large container to hold the water. You need like a big drum or some sort of container where you can just stock the water there, install a water pump, maybe something like a 24-watt water pump, and that can be controlled by the smart plug. then you won't have to use a solenoid. From the pump, it just goes into your manifold for distribution. So this is not the only way. This is just how I'm doing it because I already have this as stuff. If you're going to use stock water, you can just stock lots of water, put your dechlorinators there, add your salt if you're salting your water, and then load it every time it gets low. It's as simple as that.